welcome back to my channel. I am Lizzy Stark and I'm so excited to be here again after a 5-year break. Life's been a little bit busy, some things happened, and I am also finishing my undergrad, but I am ready to be back and dive into The Sims 4. Whether you are here for speed builds, mini challenges, or The Sims 4 Royal Legacy Challenge, you are in the right place. So let's jump in and get creative. So this video is introducing the official Sims 4 Royal Legacy Challenge. I will be going over the rules, giving you some tips, and we will also go over each of the generations and their tasks. So let's dive in. To start off with, there is a disclaimer. I want to clarify that this challenge follows the historic events and challenges that monarchs have faced in our reality. I have nothing against any person's preferred gameplay and choices. This challenge just follows a more historic, structured gameplay. If you want something that is less structured, I highly recommend Mira Rae's Royal Tropes and Legacy Challenge. She is an amazing Sims YouTuber, has her own royal family series that is currently on season 3. You can check her out here on YouTube. She does Twitch streams. She has an Instagram where she does story posts. She's awesome. I highly recommend checking her out and her challenge. So let's get started on rule number 1. Every monarch has to be in the politician career and max it out in the politician branch to become a national leader. Every heir must start working towards this career the moment they become a teenager. They must graduate high school early. If you have Discovery University installed, the heir must go to university, and get a degree in history. If you do not have this pack installed, that's okay. Just have your teen work on the skills required for the politician career, such as charisma and logic. They cannot max out the career until the current monarch dies. Rule 2. The royal family must have certain levels of fame from Get Famous. The monarch must be a global superstar. The consort can either be a global superstar or a proper celebrity. The heir must be a global superstar before they become the next monarch. And the other children can either be global superstars or proper celebrities. And you can freeze royal families' frame levels. I will explain this in the tips. Rule number 3, every monarch must write motivational books as a form of executing taxes. You can only publish these books, you cannot self-publish or publish them to the literary digest, and you can create copies of these books to have in your monarch's library to help keep track of which taxes are enacted or have previously been enacted. Rule 4, if eco lifestyle is installed, the monarch can create decrees using the neighborhood action plans. Each monarch can either create, keep, or repeal these action plans. Rule number 5, the royal family must live on either a 64 by 64, 50 by 50, or 50 by 40 lots. They must have the family crypt somewhere on the lot. Either can be above ground or below ground. And if life and death is installed, you can also use the crypt object. Rule 6, players must make a painting portrait of each monarch. Each portrait is made when a new monarch comes to the throne. The portrait must be made by either the butler or the maid in your household. I have a typo there. I apologize for that. And the old monarch's portrait can be taken down after they die. You can do whatever you want with that portrait. You can keep it, sell it, whatever you want. Rule number 6, so this is kind of long. The royal family household must always have a butler and or a maid within the household, and they must also always be an elder. There's a reason for this. Players can also hire an additional butler, maid, gardener, and ranch hand to help. Now, each butler and or maid traits and aspirations that are allowed and that they must have is neat, wise, or maker if the sim is a maid, perfectionist, and master chef. The butler and or maid can only develop these skills: cooking, gourmet cooking, baking, flower arranging, gardening, handiness, herbalism, mixology, nectar making, painting, and parenting. Rule 7, the royal household can have pets, livestock, horses, whatever you want. You can have them. Rule number 9, Only the consorts can host social events and raise the children with the help of the butler and or maid, but these are the events that they can host: baby showers, birthday parties, black and white bashes, funerals, family reunions, dinner parties, house parties, wedding events, and charity events. Rule 10. Now, this focuses on the skills that the princes can only develop, and this will be changed. This can only be changed as specified in certain generations. So these skills would be charisma, dancing, fitness, entrepreneur, logic, either piano or violin, one or the other, they can't have both, research and debate, writing, and writing. Rule 11 now focuses on the princesses, those skills that they can only develop, and of course, this will only change as specified in certain generations. Charisma, dancing, cross-stitch, flower arranging, piano, parenting, painting, singing, violin, and writing. Rule 12. No money cheats are allowed except at the very beginning when you place your first generation using free real estate on. And that is exactly how you would type out the code right here on the screen. Rule number 13, players must place the money vault from Get Famous somewhere on their lot. The goal amount for the funds for each generation must be placed in this vault. This will act as your royal treasury, separate from the royal household funds. Rule 14, every generation is to complete their tasks assigned. If the generation heir dies before completing all these tasks, the challenge is over. Rule 15, the lifespan must be set to normal. Players can turn off aging for short periods of time, but aging must be on for majority of the time. An example of this would be like when your heir goes to university and you don't want to waste a whole bunch of their lifespan in university because that takes up most of their lifespan. I would suggest turning off aging during that point and then turning it back on when they graduate. Rule 16, if life and death is installed, monarchs must have a will and funeral plans. Monarchs must donate 20% of household funds to a charity in their will. If a monarch dies and there is no surviving consort, dependents must be sent to live with the related noble's household. The heir, such as the new monarch, needs to focus on their own household. Number 17. Some monarchs are tasked with creating kingdom-wide rules. These holidays must remain in the game after they are created. So it's just, once it's created, it is in the calendar, it is nationwide. And lastly, Rule 18, there are no restrictions or limits on reward traits. You can have as many as you want for your royal family. All right, now moving on to tips. So these aren't necessarily rules, but they are tips to make your gameplay more enriching, more involved, but you don't have to follow them, unlike the rules. So, number 1, any royal marrying outside the family creates a new noble household. An example, like a spare marries a townie sim, they move out and create a new noble title and household. Any spares are free to have any trait, aspiration, or careers unless specified otherwise. If the player wants to start a second kingdom in the same save, the kingdom must start from the first generation rule. So you can't just create a kingdom, a whole separate kingdom, and they be at like the same level or just existing. If you're creating a second kingdom in the same save, they need to follow the generation rules too, and they have to start at the beginning. The monarch, consort, heir, and spares can donate money to charities at any time. The royal family's reputation is how their people view them and their favorability. If a get-together is installed, the monarch can create a club with themselves and other titled nobles, and once the heir is a teenager, they are added to this club. If life and death is installed, the money vault can be made into an heirloom and set to be given to the heir for the next generation. Players can create a founding noble family along with their first generation royal family. Only one is allowed to be created, and they must be related to either the monarch or the consort. To add a little fun and make each royal burst special, players can have fireworks set up as a celebration and an announcement of a royal birth. This can be done for some or all generations. It can also be done for either all children, only males, or just the heir being born. Any noble families within the save that are created must also have fame levels. You can set these yourself, though they can be no higher than B-listers, and also the fame level can be frozen. For the founding family, you can set their fame. So this is how you can do it for the nobles and the founding family, how you set their fame, by shift-clicking on the sim and setting their fame level. Additionally, the celebrity title given to global superstars can only be utilized by the monarchs. If you want, you can inscribe them and have them placed in Del Sol Valley, or if you don't wish to use them, you can just sell the tile. For setting up an arranged marriages, you can either use counties or from a noble family. It is on the child to maintain the relationship if they want to. I suggest setting up as a club if you have a get-together installed. If not, then the monarch has to introduce the two of them to each other. All right. So now we are getting into each of the generations. So we'll go through all 10 generations, and yeah. So the first generation is the founder of the kingdom. You are the very first monarch of a new budding kingdom. You have found the perfect piece of land to build your castle or palace, and now it is time to lay the foundations of your kingdom. You have very ambitious plans and execute them to perfection. You expect your household to uphold your example. Everything has to be perfect. So in Create a Sim, the traits that your first monarch has to have is ambitious, proper, and perfectionist, and they must have the fabulously wealthy aspiration. Notes: the consort can have any traits. They must have the successful lineage aspiration, and all births must be at home. Alright, now on to generation gameplay tasks. Number 1, you must complete the aspiration and max the career. Number 2, you must publish only 10 taxes and have 50,000 in the royal treasury. You must get gold in at least 5 social events. You must have 1 heir, no limit on spares, and you must create an arranged marriage for the heir. Number 5, you must create a founder's holiday called Foundation Day. It will be a day off. Attend the holiday ceremony, fireworks, grand meal, invite guests, and tell stories. Alright, on to Generation 2, an arranged marriage. Your father just died, leaving you to take over the kingdom. You have been brought up trying to be the perfect heir since you learned to walk. You excel in all your skills and hobbies and feel restless whenever you haven't learned anything new. The moment you become a teenager, your parents set you up in an arranged marriage. They said it was to keep the monarchy secure, and it is your job to uphold that. Now it is up to you to continue the legacy of the kingdom and balance your hobbies. So the traits will be self-assured, proper, and overachieving, and you'll have the curator aspiration. Notes: the consort can have any traits, and they must have the successful lineage aspiration, and all births must be at home. Now on to the gameplay task. You must complete the aspiration and max the career. You must publish only 20 taxes and have 100,000 in the royal treasury. You must get gold in at least 10 events. You must marry the sim from the arranged marriage. You must have a male heir, no limit on spares. Complete the crystal collection and have at least 5 hobbies. Alright, on to the third generation, scientific advancement. Your father was always busy, always overachieving. It left you looking up to them, wishing to be the pioneer just like them. You devote your passions to the development of science. You have a deep passion for museums and libraries. You always focus more on the scientific discoveries instead of your royal tasks. You make sure your children are all educated in the sciences. Sadly, with your deep passions, you neglect any other form of genuine relationship with your spouse and children. So the traits are genius, bookworm, and a loner, and you must have the nerd brain aspiration. Notes: the consort can have any traits. They must have the big happy family aspiration, and all births must be at the hospital. Now on to the gameplay tasks. You must complete the aspiration and max the career. You must publish only 10 taxes and have 200,000 in the royal treasury. You must get gold in at most 5 social events. You must have only one set of twins and one more child, so 3 children total, and make sure one of the twins is a male. Complete the Elements and Space Prince collections. You must have at least level 8 in logic, research and debate, and rocket science skills. And you must have a poor relationship with your spouse and children. On to the 4th generation, the hero heir. You grew up with only your mother and siblings. Despite your father being absent, they implemented a strict scientific education on you. You didn't hate it, but you yearned for something more exciting, adventurous. One day, you heard of a strange mystery in Strangerville while reading a letter from your pen pals. The moment you graduated from high school, you packed your bags and went to Strangerville under the guise of studying, but in reality, you were going to solve that mystery. When you finally returned home, you show off your achievement of saving the town to anyone and everyone. So your traits are adventurous, family-oriented, and self-absorbed, and you will have 2 aspirations in this generation, the Strangerville Mystery and the Big Happy Family. Now on to notes. The consort can have any traits. They must have the Big Happy Family aspiration, and all births can be either at home or at the hospital. Now on to the gameplay tasks. You must complete the aspiration and max the career. You must publish only 15 taxes and have 300,000 in the royal treasury. You must get gold in at least 15 social events. You must have 4 children and make sure one of them is a male. University is optional for this generation if the pack is installed. You must constantly share the Hero of Strangerville story. You must complete the postcard collection. You must make sure to have a good relationship with all your children. And you will create a holiday in honor of saving Strangerville. The holiday will be called Strangerville Day. It will be a day off. And it will be attend a holiday celebration, appreciate an object, the mother trophy that you are awarded after saving Strangerville, and you will go on a vacation or travel, and the destination will be Strangerville, and tell stories. Now on to the 5th generation, a harem. You grew up with your father constantly showing off being the hero of Strangerville. It was so annoying to hear every day. You can't wait for the day when it is finally your turn to be monarch. One day as a teenager, your annoying father set up an arranged marriage for you. This outraged you. Why did they have to be so annoying? That's when you started seeing other girls. When you finally became monarch, you made your partner your concubine along with marrying the girl from the arranged marriage. It was so relieving to do whatever you wanted, you decided to take on more concubines. So your traits will be hot-headed, romantic, and non-committal, and your aspiration will be serial romantic. Now notes. The consort must have the gloomy trait and the inner peace aspiration. They cannot have any jealousy triggers, and all births must be either at home or hospital. Now this is the consort, the woman from, or the girl from the arranged marriage. Your concubines can have whatever traits or aspirations. So your gameplay task will be complete the aspiration and max the career. You must publish only 15 taxes and have 400,000 in the royal treasury. You must get gold in at most 10 social events. You must have at least 1 child with each partner, consort, and concubines. You must have a second palace where the concubines will live with their children. To go more into this, you can have the concubine and the consort living in the same palace. Once that concubine has a child, you move them out to the second palace and the new concubine can move in. And so on and so forth. So basically you would have how you can only have as much as 8 Sims in a household. So the concubine plus their child, so however many concubines you have is how many children. Just remember there's only 8 in a household. You must complete the charisma and romance skills, and you must have a complicated relationship with your consort. The 6th generation, off with their heads. You grew up with your father having many concubines. This left your dear mother always alone and neglected. Despite all of this, she always seemed to be at peace. Seeing the relationship in your father's actions, you vowed to yourself to only have 1 consort, as long as they could provide you an heir. You knew deep down if your line ended, one of your father's other children would step up and take over. You didn't want to be the monarch that ended the family line. So, the traits will be mean, glutton, and paranoid, and you will have the chief of mischief aspiration. And these are the notes. The consorts can have any trait or aspiration, and all births must be at home so the birth can be legitimatized. And the gameplay tasks are: you must complete the aspiration and max the career, you must publish only 30 taxes and have 500,000 in the royal treasury, you must get gold in at least 10 social events, you must marry 6 times, you must try for 1 child with each consort. The first consort will have the girl, you will divorce this consort. The second consort will also have 1 girl, you will kill off this consort. The third consort will have no child, you will divorce her. The fourth consort will have twin girls, you will kill her off. The fifth consort will have 1 boy, but she dies of an accidental death. And the sixth consort will have no child and will be the survivor. And lastly, you must die of an unnatural death. This death is a result of one of the divorced consorts. So you don't actually have to have the consorts kill your monarch, but have your monarch die of an unnatural death. And basically in story method and storytelling, that is really what happened. So this generation is really heavily influenced by kind of Henry VIII, with all the different consorts and how they are died and divorced and survived and all that. On to the 7th generation, too young to rule. When your father suddenly passed away from a divorced consort killing him, you were suddenly thrust into being a monarch as a young teenager. You have to drop out of school early just to stay on top of running the kingdom. So many people around you are either trying to control you or take the crown directly away from you. You have to learn quickly on who to trust and how to rule without losing your power or head. As you go through this strenuous process, and from how your father lived, you start to think about how maybe it's time to change some old traditions. So your traits will be good, loyal, and also paranoid, and you'll have the aspiration of the successful lineage. Notes: your consort can have any traits, they must also have the successful lineage aspiration, and the birth must be at the hospital. Now your gameplay tasks are: complete the aspiration and max the career, publish only 20 taxes and have 600,000 in the royal treasury. You must get gold in at most 5 social events. One of these events, the monarch, will host, and that is where they announce the new succession law, granting the firstborn children hereditary rights for all future generations across royal and noble families, no matter the gender. This can be done as a speech during the event. You must have 1 child, a girl. You can cheat the aspiration if it requires more than 1 child. This is a little note. You must sell the second palace from 2 generations ago, and you can only have 3 relationships: your consort, your child, and a friend. Alright, now on to the 8th generation, breaking traditions. From the moment you were born, you were paving the new path in the monarchy. Your parents found out that they could no longer have any more children due to health conditions, making you an only child. Your father made sure you had everything available to you as the heir. Despite many protests, he made you the heir and set the path for a future generation, hereditary rights, no matter the gender. Many people judged you and watched closely as you would be the first female monarch. A lot was on your shoulders, and everything you did had to be done perfectly. You took comfort in your times away from the castle or palace, riding on your favorite horse. So your traits will be: loves the outdoors, perfectionist, and horse lover, and your aspiration will be a championship rider. Now here are the notes. Your consort can have any trait. They must have the big happy family aspiration. And after this generation, princesses and princes can level in all the skills that were listed for them, no matter the gender. So princesses can be working on the princess skills, and the princes can work on the princess's skills, and all that. It's no longer limited to gender. Generation tasks are: you must complete the aspiration and max the career, you must publish only 30 taxes and have 700,000 in the royal treasury, you must get gold in at most 15 social events. 5 of these events will be the rank. You must have at least 1 child, no limit on how many children you can have, and they can either be done at the birth, the births can only be done at home or in the hospital, and you must complete at least 8 of the 4 skills available for princes and princesses, since they are now the heir. So like you would have to complete 4 skill. You have to get level 8 and 4 skills in the princess category, and 4 skills level 8 in the princess category total. You must complete every horse competition, and you must collect all of the awards from the horse competitions. And lastly, you must create a holiday celebrating the first female monarch. This holiday will be called National Women's Day, and you will tell stories, remembrance, grand meals, invite guests, and fireworks. Now on to the 9th generation, the conservationists. I apologize. Your mother was the first female monarch. They tried to do everything as perfect as possible while maintaining their private hobbies and time. You admired her and wished to achieve monumental things as well. On one family vacation to Solani, you discovered Mua Pelem, and you saw how the modern world has slowly destroyed the beautiful island. Inspired, you set your mind on restoring the island to its former glory and set new laws in motion to promote clean energy and conservation. While volunteering at the beach cleanup, you meet a noble who is just as passionate about the island as you, and you two become connected and fall in love. So your traits will be loves outdoors, outgoing, child of the ocean, and your aspiration will be friend of the world. Your consort must have the child of the island trait and be in the conservationist career on the environmental manager path. This will help you restore the island. Now onto your gameplay tasks. You must complete the aspiration and max the career. You must publish only 20 taxes and have 800,000 in the royal treasury. 5 to 10 of these taxes must be environmental based. You must get gold in at most 15 social events. 5 of them must be kava parties. You must create decrees that support clean energy plans. These are neighborhood action plans if you have Eco Lifestyle installed. So if you have Eco Lifestyle installed, number 4 applies to you. Number 5 is you must at least have 1 child. No limit on how many children, and births must all be at the hospital. You must completely restore the island in Mua Pelem. You must complete all the underwater pictures collection. You must set up an arranged marriage for your firstborn, and you must create a holiday celebrating the restoration of the island. This will be called the Festival of Mua Pelem. It will be thankful spirit, fire, barbecue, and appreciate an object.
I'm hungry.
Which will be something symbolizing Solani. And lastly, the final generation, Generation 10, a royal romance. You grew up in a very loving and active family. You took many trips to Solani and helped as your parents restored the island. While on one of these trips, you met a local child that quickly became close friends with. Over time, the friendship developed into a love for each other. But when your parents found out, and they were greatly upset, telling you that you cannot marry a commoner, they ordered the relationship to end and set you up and into an arranged marriage. Unable to agree with them, you work hard to convince them to end the arrangement and allow you to marry whomever you choose. So your traits will be romantically reserved, generous, loyal, and your aspiration will be soulmate. Now notes. The consort must be a commoner from Solani and have the soulmate aspiration as well. They must also have the good and family-oriented traits. You will have to play from this Sim's point of view to try to win over the monarch and consort's view of them. Now on to the gameplay tasks. You must complete the aspiration and max the career. You must publish only 15 taxes and have 900,000 to $1 million in the royal treasury. You must get gold in at most 20 social events. You can only marry your future consort if they have a high friendship level with both your parents. You must have at least 1 child, no limit on how many or the gender, and can either be done at home or the hospital. Must try to get your parents to like your future consort. You must complete the message in the bottle collection. and you must maintain high friendship and romantic relationship levels with your partner at all times. So that was all of the generations. I hope y'all excited about this as much as I am. I had so much fun making this. If I left out any historic storylines or something in the rule or generations that need to be fixed, please comment down below. I do plan on making a second part in the distant future, so if you have any suggestions for that, please comment down below again too. Once again, with Mira Rae, I just want to give her another shout out. She's an amazing person. If you're really into Monarch gameplay, check out her version and her videos. I will link her down below. If you play this challenge and all that and you share and post it, please tag me in them. I have a TikTok account, I have Tumblr, I have Instagram. Please tag me. I would love to see y'all's wonderful families and your journeys throughout this challenge. Once again, welcome back to my channel. There's so much content I have planned for the future, and I'm so excited to share it with you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. And I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you, and happy simming.